Hey you guys, it's Miss Dawson here from the I'm a Star Foundation, and I am bringing to you virtually our Star Mentoring sessions. Now, for those of you who do know me, I miss you guys so much, and your mentors have been asking about you. It was a pleasure getting time to know all of you, and unfortunately we have to do this virtually, but the good part about it is that we can still keep it on rolling. So for those of you guys who don't know me, again, my name is Miss Dawson, and Star Mentoring is now going to be like our little outlet, our little weekly chat session where we talk about different, techniques, strategies that you guys can use to keep yourselves being motivated, successful, and reaching the end and crossing the bridge to success. And that's the main goal. We want you guys to stay motivated, because just because we're not going back to school for the rest of this year doesn't mean that you guys should give up and say, well, oh, what's the point? The point is that we still want to make sure that you guys get in your right grade, that you guys stay focused, that you stay, again, successful, and we're here for you any way that we can be. So you're going to have 5 sessions. So each session will be a different topic. The only things you'll need: something to write on, whether that's paper. I have a little memo pad if you want to use a sticky note, poster board, whatever you feel like writing on, computer paper, something to write on, and of course something to write with. Now, the activities that we're going to do together are short and sweet. I'm not going to keep you long, but the main point is for you to participate with me. So if I'm sitting here talking to myself like a YouTuber, I need some feedback. All right, so there will be a bit of a comment section so you guys can submit what you did in your activities with me, or if you have any questions or strategies that you want to share with your friends. So without further ado, let's get into session 1. So session 1 is all about unleashing your star power. Now, I work for the I'm a Star Foundation, and STAR stands for Smart, Talented, and Resilient Students. So we believe that all of y'all are smart, all of y'all have a talent, and everybody is resilient. And we're going to get into each of those things in just a second. So I'm going to start with smart. So like I said, we're all smart, and we all do at least one thing well. So the first thing that I want you guys to do is think about it. What are your smarts? What's the one thing that you have? We all have gifts. We just kind of unwrap them at different times. So if you can't think about it right now, we're going to dive into it a little bit, and you'll have a little bit of a time to think about it. But I do want you to think about what you're good at, okay? Whether that is being smart in math, reading, being smart when it comes to following directions. If you open something out of a box, can you put it together without using the directions? It's different ways you can be smart in the classroom, outside of the classroom, academically, and at home. So we're gonna talk about that. So, has anybody ever told you were smart? Well, I'm here to tell you that you are. One thing that I think that I'm good at, what did I put on my paper? I'm really good at math. Now, math is hard, and I didn't realize how good I was at math until about 8th or 9th grade. So like I said, we all have gifts and we all have smarts, but we just open them up at different times. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's still cool. It just took a special teacher for me to realize that I can get it. Things weren't clicking with me with math early on, but once I did get that one person who kind of sort of spoke my language, my learning style, I was able to soar with it. So the maths aren't that hard for me now like they used to be. So here's our first activity. What you're gonna do is survey either your family, your friends, whoever you can contact via phone, of course. We're not going outside. But what you're gonna do, and you can feel free to pause the video at any time. I put, what are your smarts? So I have my mom, my dad, my daughter, and me. So basically my whole household. If you want to use a friend instead of your family, that's perfectly fine. That'll give you a chance to say, hey, I want to talk to my friend. It's with school, but not really with school. So for my mom, she thinks that her smarts are with parenting. She thinks she's a super mom, and she is. But that's what she thinks she's good at. My dad didn't actually answer this. My mom answered it for him because you know, with parenting comes with being a partner too. Wish he would open up a restaurant, preferably after this is over, because y'all know restaurants are closing now. So thank goodness he didn't open one before everything. But I really wish he would. I wish he would kind of sort of step out there. As much as he's good at encouraging other people, I wish he would sometimes take his own advice and start his restaurant, because he cooks everything. Like, he throws down in the kitchen. He can bake. I can cook a little bit too, but baking not so well, because I don't like to listen and follow directions. I like to not measure. And if y'all know anything about baking, you have to measure. So yeah, I'm not that great at baking. My daughter, I put for her talent, her creativity. She loves looking at YouTube videos and making up stories. She writes her own stories. She draws her own characters. She's always had a creative mind. I like to think she gets that from me. But yeah, she's very, very creative. And creativity is something that takes you very, very far, especially at a young age. Especially when y'all are still at that age where you want to be creative and make your own things. It's really good to have that. And don't ever let that go. All right. And of course, I put for myself my drawing. So on your piece of paper, survey your family and ask what everyone believes their talent is. Now here's some extra credit points. Since we're all stuck at home, what you can do, if your family or your friends have like a talent that can be put on the stage or that can be tangible, like if your mom says, oh, she loves to sing, or if your little sister does dance or like baton twirling, have a family talent show night. And if your friends want to showcase their talent, you can either get them on FaceTime or Zoom or Duo, whatever your video chat app is that you can use. And y'all have like a talent show at the end of the week. So that can be something to help us stay motivated. So maybe it's Tuesday, like it's Tuesday now when I'm recording this. So give yourself something to look forward to on Friday. So maybe Friday we can actually put some of these talents to use. I can tell my daddy what I want to eat. Hey daddy, you gonna cook for me? No? Okay, I'd like a lemon cake, please. Thank you. So have have a family or friends talent night. So that's something that you can do. Show off your hidden talents. It's fun. It gives you something to look forward to, and it's awesome. It's a good bonding experience. Now, I said you guys were smart, talented. The A in STAR stands for and. And the last thing is resilient. Now, what do you think resilient means? Think about it a little bit. Resilient. If I were to hold a basketball, and again, those of you who've already heard this spiel from me, no spoilers, but if I hold a basketball and I were to flip it, like spin it back and let it drop to the ground, what's it gonna do? It's gonna bounce, right? But where is it gonna bounce to? Back to me. That's exactly what the word resilient means. It means to bounce back. All right, that means no matter what life throws at you, you can always pick yourself up and start over again. Or do those of you who've already heard this spiel from me, no spoilers, but if I hold a basketball and I were to flip it, like spin it back and let it drop to the ground, what's it gonna do? It's gonna bounce, right? But where is it gonna bounce to? Back to me. That's exactly what the word resilient means. It means to bounce back. All right, that means no matter what life throws at you, you can always pick yourself up and start over again, or do it better the next time. All right, it's not about what happens in life, it's about how you respond to it. So about 10% of your life is what happens. The other 90%, and 90 is a big percentage, is how you respond to it. So if somebody comes at you on 100 and you go back at them on 100, chances are the end of that resolution isn't going to be that great. All right, you might get kicked out of class or written up, sent home, what have you. But if somebody comes at you on 100 and you respond with 0, they can't argue with the back of your head, can they? No. So again, it's all about how you respond in situations. So make sure you take a deep breath, count a little bit if you need to, and think about, well, what's gonna happen if I respond. Let's do like a choose your own adventure type situation, where if A, I respond back to them, things could get out of control. B, if I walk away, I might get clowned a little bit, but at least I won't get suspended. Or C, think about some other choice that you might have. Tell an adult. All right, ask an adult what you can do in different situations. And now is the perfect time to have that, because now, or have that talk rather, because now we're not in classrooms faced with those types of situations. Now, some of you guys can flourish because you're not in a classroom setting, and you can get that one-on-one help. And you don't have to worry about distractions in class because you're in class with yourself. All right, so now would be a great time to just ask, whether it's your teacher, your family members at home, or even if you want to shoot me a message, you can, about different situations that you've bounced back from. All right, so we're going to talk about being resilient. So if you can't think of a time that you are resilient, that's fine. I'll give you one for free. It's free on the house from me to you. Right now, you're being resilient. Right now, the entire world is in pandemic mode. We're all stuck at home. I wouldn't say stuck, but we're all at home for safety reasons. Everyone's new to this. This has never happened before in anyone's lifetime. And we're all sort of kind of winging it. We're doing this one day at a time. Adults, kids, teachers, administration, parents. This is everybody's first time doing all of this. All right. And the fact that you guys are holding on strong, your parents are doing the best they can, trying to teach you guys from home, that shows resiliency. All right. And especially if you finish this year strong, you've become one of the most resilient people in the world, because again, nobody's been in this situation before. So nobody can open up a guidebook or a history book and say, well, hey, this is how such and such did this in the past. We can't do that. We don't have any instructions right now. We don't have a manual. So the fact that you're doing the best you can, the fact that you're pushing through this, and the fact that you want to finish strong tells a lot about your resilience. All right. I'll give you one more example before we finish up our little action plan. All right. I was in high school, my 9th grade year, and my cousin was in 12th grade, so she was a senior at the time, and she was on the majorette squad. If you've ever watched like any college bands or high school bands, it's the girls who twirl the baton. And I wanted to be on the squad so bad, because that was going to be my only chance to march with my cousin, because, you know, she was graduating the next year. So I practiced, I put together a routine, tryouts went, and I didn't make it. I wasn't horrible. I didn't make the team. I was heartbroken. I cried a lot from it. One of the girls who did make the team, she didn't know me from a ham sandwich, and she came up and gave me a little bit of advice. She was like, you got to stop all those tears. You got to stop crying. I was like, well, why? I didn't make the squad. She was like, if you cry a lot, it makes you have to go to the bathroom, and you don't want to have to do that because our bathrooms aren't clean right now. I don't know why that memory sticks out to me, but it made me laugh, and it made me feel better. And she was like, just because you didn't make the majorette squad doesn't mean you still can't be in the band, because I also play an instrument. That's one of my talents. I play flute. And, you know, I wasn't on the squad with my cousin, but I was still a part of the same, I was still a part of the band. But that next year, though, this is where the resiliency comes in. I practiced all summer long. I was determined that, whether she was there or not, she was my main motivation. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, whether she's there or not, I'm going to make that squad. So I practiced all summer. Tryouts came around again. And I went from being not horrible to being like the best, because I took the time. I used, what some would call a failure, or, not making the squad as motivation, and it fueled me. And that's what drove me from being, somebody who didn't make the squad the year before to practically being almost the best person on the squad the next year. And then my senior year, when I was in 12th grade, They made me captain of the squad, and it was amazing. You know, my cousin shared my happiness with me, and she motivated me and kept me encouraged throughout the whole process. So I don't look at it as a failure. It was a chance for me to grow, and it was a chance for me to, you know, prove to myself, you know, not just the people who were on the squad or watched me the previous year. It was a chance to prove to myself that, hey, I can do this. You know, just because I fall doesn't mean I have to stay on the ground. I can get up and do what I have to do. And resiliency is something that we all have to have and need to have, especially in middle school. Because middle school is tough. All right, middle school was not my favorite time at all, but it does get better. And that's the one thing that we have to remember with the times that we're in now with this pandemic. Nobody knows when we're going to come out of it. The scientists don't know. The doctors don't know. They can't give us like a date or even a season, really. But the piece of hope that we have to sort of kind of grasp on is that this will not last forever. Even though we don't know when it'll be over, it's not going to be here to stay. All right, so that's something that we can look forward to. And this all gives us a chance to do things better, reevaluate some things, have things come into more of a focus. So if you weren't motivated during the regular school year, now you have the chance to sort of kind of give yourself some motivation. All right, you can sit back and reflect on what you need to do. You have people in your corner, like the I'm a Star Foundation and me and your teachers, and your family and your friends who are rooting for you. All right. And if they aren't rooting for you, guess what? I am. So you have at least one person in your corner. And a lot of the times that's all you need. And even if you don't have one person, actually you do, because you have yourself. Like I said, it was me who pushed me to do better. All right. So resiliency is something that we all have. The last thing that I want you guys to do on your something that you're writing on is to give me a time where you were resilient. All right, write it down and don't use the free one that I just gave you about now. I want you to give me an example of resiliency, whether it was at school, during your home life, or wherever, on the field, on the track, wherever you go after school. Give me a time where you were resilient, where you thought just, oh, this is awful, but you wind up seeing that light at the end of the tunnel. All right. So once you have all these things done on your something to write on, here's where you get credit for this. All right. What I need you to do is either take a picture of it or scan it, and I want you to email it to me, and my email address will be like right across here. It's mdawson@imastarfoundation.org. All right. I'm going to be able to communicate with you guys via Teams, and the way that you check in with me, or I guess check off that you've done my little part, is that you send me your, I'm going to call it a STAR action plan. So that's what I want you to put in the subject of whatever email or message that you send me. I also need your name and the school that you go to. All right. And then tell me, what are your smarts? I need some family members or some friends. What are your talents? I need your talent, family member, friends. And then give me something or one thing where you knew or where you thought you were resilient. Tell me what happened. All right. So in the meantime, reflect on it. Remember that you are smart, you are talented, and you are definitely resilient. So until next time, stay safe.